So I'm not sure if you can see, but up ahead on the horizon, coming up, it's a Sugarloaf Mountain. It's a beautiful view. I always love whenever I come out this way. I love to look at the mountain in the background. That's what we're coming up on. Maryland is some parts are pretty picturesque. Some parts are not. They're basically commercial, industrial. But there are parts that are pretty nice looking, and I have to say this little route on the way to you get around Frederick and Hagerstown, the backdrop is beautiful. The views are absolutely breathtaking.
Hazard reported ahead on I270. You're still on the fastest route.
So it looks like we're running into some traffic, which is odd because this usually, for me, I usually don't run into traffic in this area, but it is coming up late morning, getting into the afternoon, 11 o'clock. So I don't know if some people take early lunches or maybe that's going on. Maybe it's just a busy travel day today. So there's little pockets of traffic, but I still say that you're still able to navigate and get around. The way the progression goes out, moving towards Western Maryland, it's you hit Frederick, then you hit Hagerstown, and the last place, like right on the line of West Virginia, is Cumberland. But at least from Hagerstown, you can just as easily go to West Virginia, or you can go to probably quicker to get to Pennsylvania. Just right on that line. We're in a free state. The thing I used to love about going to Pennsylvania when I was a kid, growing up in Michigan, is they used to have this place called the oh gosh, what was the name of that place? It was an Amish diner, and they had them all over Pennsylvania. The Dutch Pantry. It's called the Dutch Pantry, and we would go there. And my favorite was this dessert. It was called shoe fly pie. And I'm like, what? Why do they call it shoe fly pies? I guess the pie is so good that you got to shoo the flies away. I always thought that was funny, but they had, chicken and food like that, Cornish hens and stuff. And my family traveling from Michigan going away to Virginia would always, stop by that Dutch pantry. It'd either be in Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, where a lot of times we spend the night. I think only because my dad loved Joe Namath, and and Joe Namath was from Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, so it seemed like we would spend the night there after a long ride from Michigan, and then we make it down the next day to get to a destination in Virginia. He was in the Air Force, and so every summer we would take wherever he was stationed. Every summer we make it back to Virginia for a break, vacation. I see my grandmother and cousins and everybody in Virginia. Being closer to that view that I always love to get to. I can't wait to show you. I tell you, they're going to make us wait for it. They're going to make us wait for that view, the view that I want. It's kind of the highlight of my trip when I come out here. And maybe one day I'll pull over because I think they got they have some, well, I know they have some areas where you could pull over and take in some sights on the side of the road. I've never tried that, but as I get older, these things are more important to me. Paying attention to your surroundings and not taking every day or a good day for granted. Looking at the sky, looking at the stars, the moon, all that stuff. I tell you, it's almost overwhelming. It's unbelievable how many things are going on and how much beauty there is all around us, and how we take it for granted. We don't even see it. It's hitting us right in the face, and we don't even take the time to acknowledge it. And so as I continue to go on this journey called life, this thing called life, I'm trying to take more time out to appreciate things, not just appreciate getting to where I'm getting to, but just appreciating the trip to get there, the challenges, the peaks, the mountains and the valleys, peaks and the valleys. It's all part of the experience. And the thing about getting something and feeling a reward, it seems like the harder you have to work for something, the more you appreciate it. And it's not just a metaphor. I mean, it's pretty much the truth. You work hard for that degree in college, you work hard for that high school diploma. If somebody just gave it to you, you take it, but would it be as fulfilling? Especially knowing that, hey, I had to put in some blood, sweat, and tears to get through this journey, to get to where I am. And I guess that's why not everybody can be an NCAA basketball champion or make it to the championship or the Final Four or the Elite Eight or the Sweet 16 or the dance all together. So you go through that journey with your teammates and buzzer beaters, and knowing that you almost didn't make it. There it is. There it is up ahead. We get up above this road on the horizon, start going down. I think you'll get a better view of it. This is what we want. And it's apropos. On the side of the road, there's a sign that says scenic view. Closed at dusk. Maybe one day I'll have time to where I can take the scenic view, the scenic route. But as for right now, I got places to go, people to see, things to do, and I don't have the luxury. Now, after all that talk about enjoying where you are and taking in the moment and not taking things for granted, just like that, I fell back into the trap. And that trap is, being so busy that you don't appreciate what you have or what you see and what you have ahead of you. Well, it would have helped if I would have turned the camera around. So let me turn the camera so you can see my view, to see what I'm seeing. That's what you call a major faux pas. But hopefully you can still see some of the views of the mountain, kind of obscured by the vehicles and the cars right now. gonna get there early, and I got time to get a bite to eat. I think I'm gonna do that. Okay, what's a good lunch spot in Frederick? I almost said Fredericksburg. I'm used to Fredericksburg because that's in Virginia. Totally different from Frederick, Maryland. But I'm wondering what's good in Frederick, what's good in Hagerstown. Probably have to do something kind of fast though. Can't mess around. There's nothing worse than going on a place 2 hours away and then being late for your appointment because you got there on time, but you got overconfident, or got to the point where you're like, hey, get around these trucks so you can get a better view. Now I got to do some fancy driving because I have to take this exit here to get to Hagerstown. Not make any truckers or anybody mad at me. We're on 70 now. Getting ready to go. Okay, it's telling me to take 70 west to get to Hagerstown. This truck doesn't know where he's going. Where are you going, truck? You going to Baltimore or to Hagerstown? I'm just going to Hagerstown. Just wanted to get in the slow lane. So what's in Frederick? They have, I want to say, the Frederick Keys professional baseball team, minor league. They also have Fort Detrick. I don't know if you remember that. That's where they do a lot of research and chemicals and all that kind of stuff. And I think there was a scare that came from there one time, a few years back. Forgot that white substance that they were sending in the mail. And I think they traced that to Fort Detrick. Some disgruntled employee or somebody lost their mind and was doing that. Basically, it's not basically, but it is a terrorist attack. They were sending stuff in the mail. Get the name of it, but it killed a postal worker and hurt a few people. This chemical that they put in the mail, and it made it so mail delivery, they had to go through a whole process before they would deliver mail. Had to radiate it and do everything they could to make it safe for the mail handlers. Crazy how an attack or something like that can just have such an effect on your life. I mean, I'm thinking also about, I hate taking my shoes off, but then you had the shoe bummer. And so when that idiot, did his thing on the plane, now everybody has to take their shoes off a lot of times to get on the plane. Not so much now as before, but I never really thought it was really making us safer. I think it was one of those psychological things where they wanted us to think that we were safer because they were making us take our shoes off or whatever, I just thought it was ridiculous. Now, the thing about not being able to have sharp objects and enforcing that on carry-on luggage and liquids, making sure that you can mix liquids and cause quite a stir with the right chemical balance. I am all for that, but I think the removing the shoes thing is just one of those things to make you feel good, but I'm not sure what value that really adds to security. And then maybe it's because I hate taking my shoes off. That's just one of those things, man. So I'm a good 30 minutes away from my destination, which means I've been driving about an hour and a half. Thank you for coming along with me. Now we're basically in the mountains. These trucks, you got to be careful in the mountains with the trucks, because when they're going up the hill, you notice they're struggling. They're hitting the gears and they're chucking. But then when they go down, you don't want to be anywhere near them. I'd rather be behind them and let them go, because they're going to pick up speed and pick up momentum, and you don't want one of those bad boys bearing down on you as you're going down the mountain. Man, what a beautiful view. See what I mean? They were struggling going maybe 45 to get up the mountain. Now they're good 66, 67, and you don't want them barreling down on you. There's nothing worse than having a car in front of you with the tail lights on and stuck, and you see a truck in your rearview mirror just barreling down, because I think that's the time or the ability to make up time and preserve their gas, and they're not trying to put their brakes on. They're not trying to wear their brakes out either. Greenbrier State Park, exit 35. I bet you that's a beautiful place. I wonder if they have water out there. I wonder how the fishing is up here. I do have my fishing license, and I haven't been out yet this year. So I want to get out there and see how I can get some of those trout, bass, do some freshwater fishing in lakes and ponds in the area. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Historic Myersville. Be coming around a mountain when she comes. Look at that.